talking about the treatment which is reserved to Israel within the UN, obviously it comes to the mind immediately the Palestinian issue. And I would say that the Palestinians, in a way, are the only population in the world that enjoys a sort of a permanent refugee status, which is maybe also the main reason for the increasing number of Palestinian refugees, because it's a number growing exponentially thanks to a status which is inherited from a generation to another. In 1945, their number was more or less 750,000. Today is almost 6 million, according to many data. And this has led to a gigantic mobilization of resources. But most than that, I mean, above all, led to the establishment of UNRWA, a dedicated UN organization, which, unlike the UNHCR, seems not deeming the granting of a foreign country citizenship as the ideal end state for a refugee. And in addition to that, which is absolutely peculiar to the Palestinian people, talking about UNRWA, we see that there are more and more evidences about the links existing between UNRWA and Hamas. The agency's offices covered the headquarters of terrorists. Even many officials of the agency have been revealed to be active militant. And also looking to the future, the UNRWA-led UNRWA-run schools use textbooks which are funded by the international community, but that deny the existence of Israel and propagate hatred against the Jewish people. So, frankly, what do you think about UNRWA? What we can do, I mean, to exert a better control on its own activities? Do you think it's possible to have a remedy to the situation? Maybe we need new structures, or a sort of a strict monitoring on it, because I mean, until now, it seems the mission was totally a failure, and quite the contrary, it is in a way, I mean, propagated hatred and contributing to the conflict. I mean, also educated the young generations, I mean, to the hatred for Jews.
Look, I agree with you. UNRWA was created around 1949 with good intentions. America was a big part of it. They were trying to help Palestinians who were displaced as a result of the war, which was a war of the Palestinians and about 5 Arab states combined in a declared jihad to destroy the birth of Israel, which was voted for by the United Nations. And they said, no Jewish state. The United Nations, of course, voted for a Jewish state and an Arab state to be created in what was then called Palestine. And the Arabs said, absolutely not. No Jewish state on even 1 centimeter. And they went to war against Israel, the Jewish state, and they lost. And you had displaced Arabs. The Jews were about 800,000 Jews who were kicked out of Arab lands from Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Yemen, and Israel took in many of these. Other Western countries took them in. In Italy, you've taken in, after 1967, many of the Jews from Libya who were pushed out in pogroms. And the displaced Palestinians were going to be helped by UNRWA. Very quickly, the opposite happened. The opposite. UNRWA did not help the Arab refugees. They tried to preserve them, as you said, as perpetual refugees, telling them they're going to go back to dismantle Israel, So very quickly, by the early 1950s, UNRWA acquired a pathological agenda. I'll say that again, a pathological agenda. UNRWA's purpose was not to help these Arabs move on with a new life in Lebanon, in Syria, in Jordan, but the opposite, telling them, no, don't create a new life. You're in a neighboring Arab country. They speak Arabic. they worship Islam, they're Sunni Muslims, they have your culture. You can integrate easily, okay? Since World War II, there were many refugees moved from one country to another in Pakistan, in Europe, and certainly when they went from one country to another and they went to a neighboring country, which spoke the language, same religion, similar culture, they moved on. Only here, the opposite happened. They said, don't move on. Don't build a future. Your only goal is to dismantle Israel. And so, 75 years later, after we, the taxpayers of Europe, of Canada, of America, have given billions and billions of dollars, how many Arab refugees have been resettled? The answer is 0. 0 Arab refugees were resettled. As you indicated, they deliberately kept them from, you said, 700,000 to now 6 million. The opposite. There's more refugees than there were. It's a pathological system, to quote the Italian-Swiss, the foreign minister of Switzerland, Ignazio Cassis, who said, UNRWA is not part of the solution. He said this in 2018. UNRWA is not part of the solution. They're part of the problem. Perpetual refugees. He said, we are perpetuating the problem. He said it's an absurd logic. It's an absurd logic. So today we have UNRWA, as you said, teaching Palestinians that their goal is to dismantle Israel, teaching them that when they get money from Italy, from the EU, from France, from America, up until recently, that to build homes, hospitals, and schools, they're given cement. In Gaza, they said, no, not going to build a home here. We're going to build a terror tunnel. So with the cement that we gave them, they built hundreds and hundreds of kilometers of terror tunnels. All of Gaza are terror tunnels built with our money, our cement, to go into Israel, because UNRWA taught them their job is to dismantle Israel. And so we should not be surprised that the head of the UNRWA union, 30,000 teachers, 30,000 employees, was a man named Su'ail al-Hindi, who is an elected member of the Hamas political bureau, one of the leaders of Hamas. And for decades, he was an UNRWA teacher, an UNRWA school principal, head of the union in Gaza, and he's one of the Hamas terror chiefs. Same in Lebanon. The head of the UNRWA teachers union was Fathi al-Sharif, teacher, school principal, head of 2,000 UNRWA teachers, and the Hamas terror chief in Lebanon. He was eliminated by the IDF, by Israel, in September or October of last year. And the day that he was killed in Lebanon, outside of Tyre, Lebanon, Hamas announced, Israel killed our leader, the leader of Hamas. And there's a video of him, 3-minute video of Fathi al-Sharif, UNRWA teacher, UNRWA school principal, UNRWA union leader, mixing with Hamas terrorists. So the leaders of UNRWA are the leaders of Hamas. And the EU is silent. They don't say anything. They keep giving money. I want to make an exception. America stopped giving money. Sweden stopped giving money. The Netherlands announced they're going to begin defunding UNRWA. Foreign Minister of Italy, Tajani, said, we will not give to UNRWA in Gaza, but they're still giving it to elsewhere. If we want to help Palestinians have a new future, building a new life, giving money to UNRWA is the opposite. You only perpetuate war and grievance and resentment and terrorism. That is what UNRWA does.